Mommy. Welcome to Nighty Night Stories. Today, we're going to hear a wonderful bedtime story. Are you ready? Let's get started.
The Brave Little Parrot. In a lush, vibrant rainforest, where the canopy formed a ceiling of green and the air was filled with the chatter of birds and animals, lived a little parrot named Pico. Pico was a small, bright green parrot with a splash of red on his wings and a beak that curved like a cheerful smile. Unlike the other parrots who flew high above the trees, Pico always stayed near the ground. He loved the forest floor, where he could hop between the roots of the great trees, talk to the bugs, and munch on fallen fruit. But Pico had one fear that kept him grounded: flying too high. His wings were strong, but the thought of soaring above the treetops made his heart flutter in his chest. He loved the safety of the lower branches and the comfort of the cool, shady forest floor. The sky seemed too big, too open, and the world below looked so far away. One sunny morning, as Pico was pecking at a juicy mango that had fallen, he heard a commotion above. The rainforest was usually a noisy place, but this was different. Panicked squawks and cries filled the air. Pico looked up to see the flock of parrots fluttering frantically. "Pico! Pico!" squawked his friend Zara, a bright blue parrot who always flew the highest. "There's a fire on the far side of the forest. We need to warn everyone." Pico's heart thudded. A fire? The rainforest was a green paradise, but it could turn dangerous in the blink of an eye if the dry season brought flames. "We have to warn the animals on the other side of the forest," Zara continued, circling above. "They don't know it's coming, and they won't see the smoke until it's too late." Pico looked up at the towering trees, the sky beyond them bright and open. This was it. If he wanted to help, he'd have to fly high. Higher than he'd ever dared before. I can't fly that high," Pico stammered, his wings twitching nervously. Zara swooped down and perched next to him. "Pico, you're the fastest parrot I know. We need you. The animals need you." Pico took a deep breath. He looked around at the forest he loved, at the animals who called it home. If he didn't face his fear, his friends could be in real danger. Pico flapped his wings once, twice, and then he launched himself into the air. Higher and higher he flew, past the lower branches, past the vines, and into the sky. The wind rushed past his feathers, and the ground below became a patchwork of green. Pico felt the thrill of flight, the rush of the wind, and the power in his wings. As he soared, he saw the smoke rising in the distance, a dark cloud against the blue sky. Pico's heart pounded, but he pushed on, flying faster than he ever had before. He zipped past treetops, calling out to every animal he saw. "Fire! There's a fire coming! Head to the river," he squawked, his voice loud and clear. Monkeys scrambled, birds took flight, and ground animals scampered toward safety. Pico didn't stop until he had warned every creature he could find. Finally, exhausted but triumphant, he circled back and returned to the flock. The animals were safe, gathered near the river, away from the danger. Zara fluttered down beside him, her feathers ruffled but her eyes bright with pride. You did it, Pico. You flew higher than any of us, and you saved the day. Pico smiled, his chest puffed with pride. I guess I did, he said, feeling the joy of his achievement. The sky wasn't so scary after all, it was full of possibilities. From that day on, Pico flew high with the rest of the flock, no longer afraid of the sky. He knew now that sometimes, being brave meant flying out of your comfort zone, and that made every adventure even sweeter. And as Pico soared above the treetops, he knew that no matter how high he flew, the forest would always be his home. It looks like our little one has already drifted off to dreamland. May your dreams be filled with joy and adventure.